What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about the Cheyenne Hawk Pen. I'm going to give you the technical specs of it, pros and cons, go through a couple of the accessories that are out for this machine, and I'll give you my kind of overall assessment and a little unsponsored review. Okay, so just for starters, let's go over the specs. 5 to 13 volts is your operating range, which gives you lots of versatility, and that'll run you from 55 cycles a second all the way up to 165 cycles a second, which again gives you that huge range of soft shading all the way up to power lining with a loose shade around. 0 to 4.5 millimeters is your stroke length, fully adjustable, and adjustable on the fly. So you don't need to use any special tools or anything else. It's literally a twist of your wrist. And then cost, for this machine in Canada, it's going to cost you $840. In the States, that's probably somewhere around $625. It's a pretty high investment. So I'll try to give you all the information that I have, and I've been using this machine for a while, so I'm going to give you a good idea of what it's done for me over the years, okay? So let's talk about the basic stuff that it comes with. So that's the basic machine, 25 millimeter grip, that's just an inch, I think, and comes with your tray, and it obviously comes with a cord set, okay? The tray is actually really nice. The machine doesn't roll around on your workstation while you're working, and you can kind of slot it in there, throw a piece of barrier film, and then it's sterilizable just with a high-level disinfectant, just like a massage table or anything like that. Okay, so this grip is good. It works really well, but it comes off, which is nice. And it comes off for a couple reasons. One, it's sterilizable. So you can take these grips and throw them in the sterilizer in your autoclave, package them, and they come out sterile. You can do that every time you work, so you're bagging basically from here down, and then the tip of the machine is going to get sterilized. So your option, if you want to go that route, is the 25 millimeter or the 21 millimeter, which is a little bit smaller. It's a taper. That's the one that I actually like to use if I'm using a hard grip. Just because I find that the weight of this machine feels really close to a pen. So while I'm working, I don't need that big counterbalance of an 1.25 inch big steel grip. So something a little bit smaller feels a little nicer in my hand. But after, like 17 years of tattooing, I like a lighter machine at this point. So a couple of the accessories that come with it, that you can buy after the fact. The disposable grip, these are amazing. These are the 1 inch grips. They're completely disposable, and they're a direct fit for this 1 inch grip. These just come right off, like I showed you there, and then your disposable would go right on top. Okay, so that's one option. The next is the larger option. This is 1.25 inch, and this is the long grip. So this covers more of the body of the machine, which is really nice for sterilization. All these grips are basically to get rid of anybody's concern that, this machine isn't sterilizable, you can't properly bag it, any of those issues that people may have and bring up and raise questions about, the sterility of this machine. These disposable grips really eliminate that. And then, they come in a variety, right? So they're a good fit for most tattooers. That's the third option. It's called the Ergo. It's kind of like a beehive looking thing. They all work really well. They all engage a cartridge really well, which is important. The only hard part that I have with them is they're expensive. I think they cost me about $350 per grip. So it's adding a good amount onto your setup, which, for some people can be a bit of a pain. If you're just doing a smaller tattoo, you probably don't want to add on the $350, in which case you need to properly learn how to wrap one of these non-disposable grips, or commit to sterilizing it every time you use it. Okay, so pros and cons of this machine. The pros of this machine is it's an absolute beautiful runner. It's smooth and consistent at all range. I'm usually running this machine between 10 and 11.5 volts, and it's just perfect all the time until it catastrophically fails, which only happens about once every year or year and a half with one of these machines. I've had 3 of these Cheyennes over the years, and they have been repaired. Each of them has needed to be repaired. So that's the only thing that I would really recommend. If you're serious about this machine and this is your daily runner, then you need 2. If you just have one, it's gonna fail on you at some point. And that's okay, I think. You know, when we're talking about rotary machines and we're talking about specifically cartridge machines, we're talking about a machine that, you know, if I tattoo 300 days out of the year, I'm gonna run that machine 300 days out of the year from 12 o'clock to at least 6 p.m. every day nonstop. And it's under stress for that. So I think it's okay that these machines do fail, and I like the fact that they have a 1-year warranty, so at least Cheyenne will fix them for you. Okay? So again, perfect runner. It's really well balanced. Everything feels right. When you're tattooing with this machine, it's very intuitive. It's like working with a pencil or a paintbrush, and it just feels right while you're working. Okay, so that's the best kind of description of how this machine works and how good it feels for me. So I just want to give you a couple of the cons with this machine, and I think there really are only 2. Okay, so my big issue with the Hawk Pen is now and always has been that right there. So the cord sets that Cheyenne produces and the connector for the cord sets that Cheyenne produces are absolute garbage. They have been since day one. They are now. They just can't get it right. We're paying almost $1,000 for a machine, and you are definitely going to want to buy an aftermarket cord. There's a few of them offered out there. Obviously, none of them are made by Cheyenne, but they are really, really necessary if you're going to be using this machine long term. I have run through probably 6 or 8 different sets of Cheyenne cords. They all fail. They cut out, they don't last very long, they don't give you consistent power, and they'll give you a different speed of power. So you can be running your power source at 10 volts with a Cheyenne cord and then put on an aftermarket cord, and 10 volts is too fast all of a sudden. So definitely think about investing in a good quality one. It doesn't take much. Do a little bit of research, and you can find yourself a good set. And then just the Cheyenne kind of repair department is my only other beef with the machine. I've sent machines back that have catastrophically failed. The motor simply won't run. It's done. It needs a new motor. And they have rebuilt a motor, sent it back to me, and then it's failed again within 2 months, and I've had to send the machine back again. So, obviously the most expensive thing on this is not the aircraft aluminum or the CNC lathe work. It's going to be the motor that's in there, and they don't want to give you a new one without you paying for it. So they really cheap out and half-ass. I think, it's something that I have learned to deal with and I'm okay with. But also something that if someone has decided that they want to make the jump to a machine like this, that this is probably something you should know going into it, because it is going to end up costing you a little bit more money. You're going to end up buying 2 of these. You're going to end up either having 2 of them or not being able to have one in your repertoire for, say, 3 or 4 months while it's being repaired in Germany. Is that enough to make me not want to buy one, or make me not want to use one every day? Absolutely not. It's a great machine, and when the stress it's under catches up to it, they do ultimately cover it. So that's a good thing. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers everything. We went through the specs, we went through the pros and cons. Overall review of this machine. Is it worth buying? Is it worth getting into at $625 American or $840 Canadian, plus accessories, plus switching to cartridges if you're not already there? And here's what I would say. The first tattoo I did with a Hawk Pen, I felt like my work was different and it was better. It's the first time I've ever held a tattoo machine in 17 years of working that I really just felt this instant intuitive improvement in what I could do with the tattoo machine. And I think that my work has progressed since being able to use it and learning how to properly use it. And I think that when you're dealing with a machine like that works right for you, and again, you know, some people hate this machine. It may not work. All your buddies are going to make fun of you because it looks like a vibrator, you know, all that stupid stuff. But you know, the proof is in the work that you can produce. And if I can produce better work with one of these than I can with a coil machine, then I'm going to use it every day. And any amount of money is worth, you know, making sure that I can produce my best work. And so I think I would highly recommend the machine. I think it works really well for the type of work that I do, which is a lot of realism. And I think that if that's your forte as well, or that's something you're working towards getting into, that you know, go ahead and do it. It's a great machine for that, and it'll maybe propel you a little bit like it did with me. So I think that kind of covers everything that I wanted to say, and it gives you my review. You know, and if anybody has any more questions, if there's anything that I've left anything out of, I've been using this machine for a lot of years, so I can help you out. If anybody has any questions, they can leave them in the comment section. If anybody wants to check out my work, it's Requiem Tattoo, REQUIEM_Anthony on Instagram. And you can see my work and see the work that I produce with the Cheyenne, and also decide if you think I'm full of shit and I can't tattoo anyway, so my opinion's not worth anything. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate it. Take care.